It's supposed to look more like the surface of the moon inside, the way they have this, which is super interesting and just gives it a really classy look.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
Stand strong.
I think it's the perfect vehicle, and I mean, first of all, it's a beast, right? In this new space, I can't imagine a better vehicle, really, than to bring back something as iconic and ironic as the Hummer. And I say ironic because the last Hummer was a bit of a gas guzzler, if you will, and this one's completely EV, so it's the polar opposite. Here you have, all the innovation technology, latest, greatest of everything inside, coupled with a vehicle, we call it a super truck, that boasts 1,000 horsepower, 11,500 foot-pounds of torque. And unlike the first Hummer, if I'm not mistaken, this one will go 320 plus miles on one single charge. I don't think the first Hummer would go 320 miles on one tank of gas, so I think we have the better of the two options now. The old H2s, the super truck is actually a little bit wider than the original one. It is a little bit wider. I think it's a lot more nicely appointed. If I recall, the last one had a lot of hard plastic in that, where this is all leather wrapped. And I say leather, I misspoke, but it's actually a material that's it's fully weatherproof. Yeah, and so it's supposed to look more like the surface of the moon inside, the way they have this, which is super interesting and just gives it a really classy look. And even the textures, once you zoom in, you'll be able to see the footprints, like down where the speaker covers are. That's where they have some imprints from the moon. It talks about the Watts to Freedom mode, which is the launch mode, which people get super excited about. Everybody sees the commercials with the crab walk, where the four-wheel steering engages and the vehicle starts to drive diagonally, which, it looks so great and it gets all the applause in every commercial. But I think even a more practical application that people are going to love is the hands-free driving. I mean, talk about completely changing your morning commute. What happens is, and it's super simple too, and I think people sometimes maybe get overwhelmed thinking, oh my goodness, I can't imagine not having my hands on the wheel, or maybe even someday having a vehicle without a steering wheel. But adaptive cruise engages, and then there's over 200,000 miles of compatible roads in the U.S. and Canada today, and I think that's a misconception with a lot of people, but it uses LiDAR technology, and once the vehicle determines that the adaptive cruise is engaged, it's on a compatible road, your driver information center is going to light up Super Cruise, you're going to press Super Cruise, and let it take over. This kind of goes over the Super Cruise, how we mentioned, how it engages. And it allows the driver to drive completely hands-free, and it touches on the LiDAR technology, which is using a laser instead of a radar for the mapping data, okay. which is supposed to be a lot more effective. And a radar might be affected by different materials or even weather, where the LiDAR is less propensity to do so. There's three different breakdowns, three different models of the Hummer, both on the super truck and on the SUV. And the Edition ones and the 3X will all have 3 engines. And those ones will have the greatest range. And so you just kind of gauge your customer on which one to sort of recommend for them based on that. Now, the Edition ones are completely built out as of right now. Right. They still are taking reservations for the 3X. So those ones will have the greatest range, up to over 320 miles on a single charge. The 2X will be a little bit less, 2 engines. And it's a whole paradigm shift for the way that we're thinking. And just like the first people to drive cars, when you mapped out when you got out your old map and planned your trip, you would plan it around gas stations. Well, now you're going to plan it around charging stations. So as much as it is different, it's really the same, just getting back to basics. And the car's going to take care of you don't have to get your map out anymore from the gas station. You can do it right in the convenience of your car with an app.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
stand strong.